Okay, guys, so remember, you probably remember that last class at the end or towards the end, we started learning about idioms. And we used a video on which you had a lot of idioms. Do you remember this video about this cook who was not happy with his job?
Yes, teacher.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. And during the week, I sent you the video as promised. Hopefully you had the chance to play the video, to learn more idioms, etc. Because idioms is something that also makes the difference between B2 and C1, because as you know, idiomatic expressions make you sound natural, okay? And they also make you understand culture and context better. When you understand culture and context better, let's say you can understand locals if you ever travel, and you can communicate easier. So today, as a start for the class, we're going to start also with idioms, okay? Last time we were to see another video like this, okay? But here, I'm going to need you to take a picture of this, okay? Please take a picture with your cell phone, because I need you to complete from 1 to 13 from another video, okay? It's not difficult. Please tell me when you're ready, because I need to change my screen.
Ready.
Ready, Miss.
Ready, everybody? Okay, we're going to go to a different website, okay? So let me stop sharing the screen for now, okay? And give me a sec. We're going to watch this video that's the name is Confessions of an Idiom, okay? Sharing screen. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So now, let me make this bigger as possible. Well, and I also think I need to disconnect my headphones. Okay, please tell me if you hear, okay? Can you hear? Can you hear
Nope.
me?
No,
Not yet.
Me, yes, but not the video. Okay.
no.
Or you cannot hear me?
No, we cannot hear
I
the
hear
video.
you. I
Okay.
hear you, but not the video.
Let me start playing the video, okay? Hold on. Okay, and I'm going to need you to complete the picture you took here with me, all right? Can you hear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, any ideas? Help me complete this. I have a
Bone.
bone. Correct. This is another idiom. I have a bone to pick with you. Okay. Let's continue. Here's the explanation. Areli, can you please read the explanation of I have a bone to pick with somebody?
Yeah. Something that you say when you want to talk to someone about something they have done that has annoyed you.
Very good. Very
It's
good.
like a matter to solve with somebody.
Can we continue? Yes? All right.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, teacher.
There's no dirt on me. My slate is clean.
What about here?
Clean?
Clean, correct.
Teacher, it's not so clear
The
the
audio?
conversation. Yes, the audio.
Let me use more volume, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Eric, please read the definition.
If you are given a clean slate, you can start something again, and all of the problems caused by you or other people in the past will be forgotten.
Okay, this is the explanation of my slate is clean. It's like start over, okay? Okay, more volume.
Don't you have bigger fish to fry?
What about here?
Bigger to fry?
I,
Bigger fish to fry, very good. Beta, can you please read the definition?
yes, Miss. More important matters to deal with.
Very good. So when you say, don't you have bigger fish to fry, it means like, don't you have something more important to do than being here or than bothering me or etc. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Why, you're just radiant. I see you're sticking to your guns.
Into?
I see that you're into your guns. Okay, let's try into. Okay, striking. You're striking to your guns. Okay, let's read the definition. Alma, please.
Yes, to remain determined, resolute, or steadfast in one's opinion, belief, or perspective.
Mhm. When you stick to your guns, means when somebody's trying to change your mind, but they can't. You remain with your line of thought. Okay? Is it clear? Yes?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let's continue.
Holy mackerel. Okay, let me bounce this off you. I had my eye on you.
Very good. Okay, Jasmine, can you please read the explanation?
To watch someone carefully.
Okay, I have in present or I have had my eye on you, depending on the tense you're using, to be watching somebody, all right? Good.
And if you don't leave me well enough alone, I'm calling your bluff.
I'm calling you.
Calling.
Okay, very good. Calling your bluff. Let's say, Constanza, please read the definition.
Teacher, my internet is too slow, so I can see the letters
Oh,
yet.
sorry, okay.
Oh, that's, yeah,
Yes.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm calling your bluff. Explanation to challenge someone to carry out a threat.
Mm-hmm. To challenge someone to carry out a threat. When you're playing cards and somebody bluffs or somebody's bluffing, you know the meaning when you're playing cards and somebody's bluffing? It's like, you're bluffing. It means you don't have the hand you want me to believe you do. So I'm calling your bluff is, I know you're bluffing, so I'm challenging you to do a threat, to carry it out. Do we understand?
No, it's not so clear.
No, it's not so clear.
It's not so clear.
Not at all.
Okay, are you familiar with playing cards? For example, blackjack? Are you familiar with
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
When you play cards, we have another expression called poker face. Are you familiar with that one? Poker face means that your face doesn't reveal what you see in your cards because the other players are constantly observing you and they want to check if you have a good hand or not. So when you say bluffing, bluff means to pretend something you're not, or to pretend something you don't have. That is bluff or bluffing. Okay, so the meaning of calling your bluff would be to tell somebody, you know, they are probably faking something. So you're challenging them to carry out a threat because it means you don't believe what they are saying or what they are doing. Let's say you have a friend who says, well, if you don't lend me 5,000 pesos, I won't talk to you ever again. And you say, oh, I'm calling your bluff. That means I don't believe what you say because we are so close friends. You would never do that. It means you don't believe, so you challenge the person, okay, do it. Is it better?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
All right, let's continue.
What's his number? Ow! You have no proof. Let
Beans.
Beans.
Billy Beans.
Beans, very good. Correct. Okay, let's see who. Laura, can you please read the definition?
Yes. Disclose a secret.
Exactly. Very, very good. Okay, let's continue.
Look at me, I'm falling apart.
Falling.
Falling.
Full. Thing.
Falling. Okay, Eric, please read the definition.
To suffer a nervous breakdown or become unable to cope.
To cope. Very good. Nervous breakdown. That's the explanation. Excellent.
I don't have a leg to stand on.
Leg.
A leg.
Leg.
Very good. Okay, let me see who. Alma, please read the definition.
Yes, to have no support.
Very literal meaning, exactly, to have no support.
I did it! I did it all! I broke someone's heart. I killed you.
I broke.
I broke. Very good. Jasmine, please read the definition.
To cause deep emotional pain and grief to somebody.
Very good.
I killed two birds with one stone.
A stone. With one stone.
Very good. Very good. With one stone or with a stone. Okay. Areli, please read the definition.
To achieve two results with one action.
Very good.
Stone. I stabbed the man in the back.
Stab.
Step.
Stab. Okay, very good. Bere, please read the definition.
Yes, Miss. A betrayal of trust, an act of treachery.
Treachery. Treachery means traición.
Okay.
Very good. Excellent.
I did it! Oh, he's gone. I guess confession is good for the soul.
Confession.
Confession. Very good. Okay. Constanza, if you're not having issues, can you read the definition?
I can see it.
You can't? Okay, Armando?
Yes, explanation, proverb. If you have done something wrong, you will feel better if you confess that you did it.
Excellent. Very good. So here we have 13 more idioms, okay? As you know, well, this is a funny video to practice, but as you know, usually the idioms are not taken literally, but these idioms here were represented with a cartoon, okay? Just for fun, just to practice. However, normally the meaning is not very difficult. Did you understand why there was a big elephant on the chair? Did anybody understand that?
Yes,
Yes, okay, can you explain?
because usually they call it the white elephant in the room, which is the issue that, well, that has happened, but you're not talking about it, but everybody knows about it, kind of thing. Are you just evading the problem, although everybody knows? So you're just not trying to express it or to talk about that issue in particular.
Exactly, very good explanation. So there's another idiom, the idiom is the elephant in the room, or the big elephant in the room. It's a metaphorical idiom. And as he said, is to refer to an issue that is there, but nobody addresses the issue. So if you have a gathering with your family and everybody's so quiet and serious, you can say, okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, meaning let's discuss the big problem we have here, but nobody wants to mention, okay? Excellent.
If I had one. I'm laughing my ass. Oh.
Okay, excellent. Let me just finish this one. Okay, here. Very good. So I hope you had fun with the idioms and you have this, okay? I make you take a picture. Yes, Adeli?
You have a word that I want to write that it's treachery.
Yes.
Can you spell it, please?
Yes, that one. Do you remember, guys, the meaning?
Treason?
Say traición, right?
Yes. Let me put it in the chat for you. Oh, where's my chat?
Thank you.
There. Do you see it? Treachery. Okay, and now you have this picture. Whenever you have time during the week, try to complete these idioms. You already saw in the video, you complete them with me just to have an extra vocabulary, okay? All right. Sometimes I ask you, okay, all right, because since you guys have your cameras off, I don't see if you agree or not, okay? So.
Yes, miss.
All right, let's continue. Enough for now about idioms, because later on in the class, we will practice a little bit more with one of the books. However, we're going to practice now reading, okay? But I didn't want to start the day with a reading because, you know, we just got up. So I wanted to start with the funny video. Now we're going to practice synonyms in a reading from one of the books we're using, okay? All right, it's going to be the book, let me remember the name, hold on. It's not the objective, a viewpoint page 16. But anyways, the reading is here. Hopefully you can see. Okay, here we have a reading. Okay, so I'm going to need your help to read this, and we're aiming at synonyms with this. We're going to do some of the activities from the book. Okay, so I'm going to assign a paragraph to some of you. Okay, Eric, number 1, Armando, number 2, Bere, 3, Areli, number 4, Laura, the extract, then Jasmine, number 5, and the extract, Alma, number 6, and Constanza, can you see or do we skip you? Constanza, are you there?
I can see.
You can see, okay, number 7, all right?
Okay.
So let's start with this reading all together, okay? Please, Armand, Eric, right?
Yep. Well, let me zoom in. In the Museum of the Ancient Orient in Istanbul, Turkey, there's a small tablet with ancient Sumerian script on it. Few people have been able to read it, but Turkish historian and archaeologist Moses İlmay
Yeah, it's
that the words on the tablet are those of a lover from 4,000 years ago, and that is the oldest love poem ever found.
Of course, love has been one of the enduring themes of poetry for centuries. Additionally, in pre-literate society, poetry was often used as a means of keeping oral history alive, for storytelling, or simply as a way of recording family history on law. For example, in that these societies had not other means of registering important events or cultural information, and reciting poetry was a way to pass what they held dear from generation to generation.
Very good.
Poetry, poetry was also valued in regions as a way of remembering, teaching, and prophecies. Many of the world's sacred scriptures are written in poetic verse. Early agrarian societies used poetry and rituals to encourage a good harvest, while early Chinese poetry evolved from folk songs.
One of the earliest known Western poems in Homer's is Homer's The Iliad, written in the 8th century before Christ or BCE. It is typical of an epic poem and consists of 15,000 lines in a strict rhythmic structure. It tells of the war between the Achaeans and Trojans and talks of gods and heroes like Achilles and Patroclus, with themes of war and fate. It is believed that the Iliad, sorry teacher, I don't know how to pronounce.
It's the Iliad, the Iliad.
Iliad, thank you, was learned by heart and repeated as part of passing on cultural values and educational messages.
An extract from the Iliad. Patroclus asks his friend Achilles for permission to join the battle, which Achilles has left. Give me your armor to put on your shoulders. The Trojans might suppose I was you. Hold back and give the Achaeans, how can I say that word, Miss Achaeans? And give the Achaeans.
Which word, sorry? Hold back and give the Achaeans. Achaeans. Like Achilles, okay. We pronounce the CH like sons
of breather, for breathing spells and war and very few. Then with a shoot, press me Freshmen might easily turn tired men from the ships toward the city.
Okay.
During the European Renaissance, Renaissance?
Renaissance. It's the period of time. Renacimiento.
Renaissance. Late 15th or to early 17th century, a poetic form that became popular was the sonnet. This has only 14 lines of verse. William Shakespeare, who was one of the many, I forgot the pronunciation. Renaissance poets composed 154 of them. An extract from Shakespeare's Sonnet 18. Shakespeare is praising the lasting beauty of a woman. Shall I compare the T to a T?
In the past, guys, this is important information. In the past, the pronouns in English were different. The was used instead of you. You, the object pronoun, you, not you, the subject pronoun. So shall I compare the is the past or the object pronoun you in the past. Okay.
Okay. Shall I compare thee to a summer day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Raw winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer leaves held all too short a date.
Do you guys know the meaning of thou, thou art? Thou is another pronoun from the past. Okay, thou means you, as in the subject pronoun, you. In very, very old time, those were the pronouns, and art instead of are. English has changed and has evolved through the years. These are the times of Shakespeare in the Renaissance, so very, very old. Okay. All right, number 6.
In other cultures, there are different forms of traditional poetry. Japanese haiku is a structure with 17 syllables in a 5-7-5 syllable pattern. Haiku often describes nature and communicates an abstract idea or a feeling in a moment in time. One 18th century master haiku poet, Kobayashi Isa, wrote about his sadness on the death of his third child and then his wife.
I'm sorry. While the forms of poetry have changed over time, it has generally retained a style and rhythm that make it different from other forms of writing, such as novels, essays, letters, or articles. Nevertheless, one of the continuing debates centers around the issue of what is poetry, a debate that still goes on with the rise of rap culture in the United States. Some see rap as the return of poetry as a performance art, poetry that should be heard rather than read, while critics say that rap should not be considered as poetry at all because it does not use correct English. Regardless of the ongoing debate, many rappers do consider themselves as poets. Certainly, the topics of rap songs are those of love, war, life, and death.
Very
Something
good.
hasn't changed since poetry first established itself as an art form.
Excellent. Okay. What is the reading about? That would be my first question. Arely, what's the reading about? What's the main point or topic?
They're giving us different information about poetry.
Okay.
about the history maybe of the first poems that different civilizations or different regions have as an example of poetry.
Okay. So we can conclude that poetry is a universal language. In many ancient civilizations, they were using poetry all the way back to Shakespeare. And even now, as the last paragraph says, some people consider rap a form of poetry. What do you think of this, Laura? Is rap a form of poetry for you?
Formal, not precisely, but informal maybe. Or I don't know. It can be considered as a different way of poetry, maybe a performance or alternative type of poetry.
Okay, good, good. So here we cannot say yes or no because it depends on everybody's opinion. Very good, that's your opinion. Excellent. All right, anything that you need or do you want to ask about the reading? It had some interesting words because it dealt with different cultures. Maybe we're not pronouncing correct the Japanese ones or the one name from the guy in Istanbul, but about English, any questions? Nope. All right, let's continue then. We're going to do some activities from the book. Remember, the page was 16, so the activities are on page 17, okay? This is what we have to do, and these kind of activities are very important, and they usually come in exams. Finding main ideas. Normally, you have a reading, and then you have to name a paragraph, okay? Or write the paragraph number, like this activity. Okay, so this is for you to use reading techniques, okay? We will probably go back to the reading a little bit. If you have the books, even better. So the activity says, find the ideas below in the article, write the paragraph number. Which paragraph mentions the following? Okay, you need to check which paragraph mentions the belief that poetry could improve crop yields, which paragraph mentions how poetry was used to register births and family relationships, or the controversy surrounding a definition of what poetry actually is, how certain poetic forms express ideas that are difficult to define, the notion of poets as teachers, an example of how romantic poetry has existed for 1,000 years, and the spiritual applications of poetry, okay? So if you want, you can take a picture of this one so that I can go back to the reading, okay? Take a picture and then you tell me 1, paragraph 5, 2, paragraph 7, etc. Okay? This is going to be an individual activity. Did you take your pictures? Can I go back to the reading?
Not yet. Hold on, please.
Okay, yes. Tell me when you're done. Okay, guys?
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's go back to the reading. And let's do this, okay? So what reading techniques do you have to use here? Since we already read the whole article, I suggest you use scanning, okay? So use the scanning technique to find the answer to this activity. All right, so here we have like 5 minutes. Please raise your Zoom hands when you're ready, okay?
Yes.
Are you guys done or do you need a minute?
A minute.
Okay, so far we have Alma done and we're waiting for the rest of you. Please let me know, okay?
Okay.
Means, could you put again your screen bigger? I can see it.
Vera, do you see it now?
Yes, Miss, thanks.
Okay, most of you guys are done. Let's check. Let's do this together, okay? So going back to this, okay, who can share? There's one that is particularly hard to find, which is probably number 5, but let's see the rest, okay? Number 1, the belief that poetry could improve crop yields. What part?
3.
Number 3?
3.
3, correct, excellent. Number 2, how poetry was used to register births and family relationships.
Number
2.
2.
Number 2, correct. Number 3, the controversy surrounding a definition of what poetry actually is.
Number 7.
7.
Number 7, correct. How certain poetic forms express ideas that are difficult to define.
Number 6.
5.
Okay, we have different opinions here. 6, 5, what else?
5.
6 and 5.
I also says number 6.
Okay, who said number 6?
Me, Alba.
Gloria.
Gloria. Okay, let's go back, Gloria. Explain why number 6. How certain poetic forms express ideas that are difficult to define.
Because it says haiku often describes nature and communicates an abstract idea or feeling in a moment.
Very good. Now, who said 5?
I said 5, but in the text it doesn't say something like in 6, number 6, but I thought that because the type of writing of Shakespeare's was some kind of difficult and express something abstract ideas.
Okay, I believe actually the key word here is abstract. So it would be number 6, as Gloria said. Because it describes nature and abstract ideas or feelings. Feelings are very difficult to describe because feelings are not something you can touch. So whenever it's an abstract idea, it's something that is hard to define, okay? Now, so number 4, 6. Number 5, the notion of poets as teachers.
4.
Okay.
Number 4, yes.
Number 4. Okay, Eric, would you like to explain why?
Because it says at the bottom or at the end of the paragraph how I'm gonna read after. Where is the last point?
Cultural
Here we go.
values.
Right here.
Educational
After
messages.
with themes of war and fate, it is believed that the elite was learned by heart and repeated as a part of passing on cultural values and educational messages.
Yeah, exactly, correct. And it's actually one of the books students still have to read, at least in the States in high school. Very good. Number 6, an example of how romantic poetry has existed for 1,000 years.
Number
1.
1.
Number 1, good. Number 7, the spiritual applications of poetry.
3.
3.
Number 3, why number 3?
Because it says at the beginning, it says religion. It mentions religion. Well, that's the way I found it.
Religion, rituals, prophecies. Excellent, very good. All right, it was not that hard, okay? These activities, as I said, you have to use a reading technique called scanning. It's not necessary that you read the whole text again, just scan for specific words.
Teacher, we repeat paragraph 3 and we do not use paragraph 5, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay, and here a book highlights a tip. Areli, can you please read the tip?
Sure. Writers use synonyms to avoid repeating the same word. The more synonyms you know, the easier a text is to understand.
Excellent. So we're all familiar with synonyms, right? What's a synonym, Gloria?
A word that is similar in meaning to other.
A word that is similar in meaning to other. Very good. Now, I know we know many synonyms. For example, tell me a synonym of light.
Bright.
A light.
Right? Okay. Light, bright. Okay, correct. We know many synonyms. Okay. However, during the week, I'm going to send you a list that I'm working on that it's more advanced synonyms. Okay, so you can study during the week. Okay. Excellent. So let's continue learning about synonyms. Okay. This is the vocabulary we're going to focus on right now. So we are still on the same book. It says focus on vocabulary, synonyms. In each question, circle, you have the books there, you can circle in your book, but as usual, I'm using the picture here in case you're not ready with the book or you didn't print it, okay? So if you have the books physically, circle the two words in bold that are similar in meaning. You can use the article to help you, okay? Paragraph numbers are given in parentheses. We're still in the same reading, okay? The numbers in parentheses are the paragraph numbers. If you have the books, you can check, okay? So let's do this. It's 1 to 8, all right? You have 3-4 minutes to do this, and then we check, all right? Please raise your Zoom hands when you're done.
Miss?
Yes?
Which page is it? It is?
The reading is on page 16, so I'm guessing, give me a sec.
Okay, thank you.
Page 17, teacher.
17, right?
17.
Yes. I wasn't sure if it was 17 or 18. Okay, let's do
17?
it. Mm-hmm. Okay, Laura is done. No? Okay. All right. Gloria is done. Okay, I believe you guys will be done in a minute. This exercise it's easier. Okay, so we have Mildred and Gloria, okay? When 5 finish, we can continue. Areli is also done. Okay, Gloria, Mildred, Areli, Alma. And Constanza. So 5, okay, let's check together, right? Let's check together. Gloria, please read number 1 and tell us the 2 words you circled.
Okay. What are some of the enduring and lasting themes of poetry?
Very good. Okay. Bere, number 2.
Yes, miss. Why was poetry held dear or valued in early societies?
Okay, correct. Number 3, Armando.
Okay, in early societies, poetry was used for recording and registering what?
Very good. Okay, number 4. Laura.
For what famous poem describes a war or battle?
Very good. Okay, number 6, Constanza.
It's
Number 5, right?
Oh, number 5, sorry.
Number 5. Okay, who wrote, composed sonnets?
Excellent. Areli, number 6.
Oh my God. Which cultures use poetry as a way or means of educating audiences?
Excellent. Eric, number 7.
What is the nature of ongoing, continuing the debate about rap?
Excellent. And finally, who am I missing? Alma, number 8.
Do you have a favorite verse or poem?
Very good. Okay. So I want to use the question 8, guys. Do you have a favorite verse of poem? Are you into poetry or not?
Yes.
Who said yes?
Yes.
Gloria? Or
I think Areli and me.
Areli and you, okay.
You said yes, right, Areli? Just.
Okay, would you like to share with the class?
I have one. I think that everybody knows it. The poem that I really like is by Mario Benedetti. Táctica y Estrategia. I really like it. It's really good.
What's the name?
Táctica y Estrategia. It's by Mario Benedetti.
Okay.
I like Benedetti in general.
Very good. Areli?
Well, maybe I don't remember the authors, but there are a lot of poems that I learned by heart when I was little, maybe in some poetry contests when I was at primary school. And one of them, I don't remember the author, but the name is Maestrito de Pueblo. It's a nice poem.
Okay, very good. I believe Eric also said yes. Eric, can you share with the class?
No, I actually didn't. I'm not really into poetry, to be honest.
Okay, who also said yes? Nobody else? So the rest of you are not really into poetry. Okay,
No,
so
not
what
really.
kind of, oh, Laura, please.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening with my computer. I love one that is called Los Amorosos Callan, Jaime Sabines.
Ah, Sabines is good.
Super good.
Okay, so interesting. You're mentioning poetry in Spanish. Do you like any poetry or any poem in English?
No, teacher, I don't know anyone.
in general, I mean, not just poetry, but in general, do you guys often read books in English?
Well, I remember that I read Agatha Christie's books, and I remember one or two they were in English.
Okay. All right.
And maybe one of the Harry Potter's books, maybe one of them, 3, I read it in English.
Excellent. Okay. So the majority of you don't read in English. Then as suggestion, it's a good time to start. When you read, you build up your vocabulary a lot. And I understand sometimes even for us teachers, reading English is hard. It's understandable. But if you want to start, because we all start from the beginning, we are all students at one point. If you want to start developing this habit, because at the end it's a habit. If you want to start developing the habit of reading in English, you can start with graded books. Are you familiar with graded books? Let me write this on the chat.
Not teacher.
Not really.
Graded books are, as the name says, books that are graded. And you go to sorry, Arely?
They have a number here.
Not just exactly that they have a number. Graded means by level in this case. So you can find, for example, the Phantom of the Opera for beginners, the Phantom of the Opera for intermediate, for upper intermediate, for pre-intermediate, or for advanced students. So it's the same story, the same, but the words and how formal, how deep the language is, or how self-explanatory varies amongst between the levels. Okay, so this makes reading a little bit easier. And I guarantee if you read the Phantom of the Opera, the original book, it's going to be hard. But if you start with beginner and then you go to intermediate and then advanced, in all of those, you will be learning different vocabulary, different words, different synonyms as the book we're working on says. And they actually tell you how many words you're learning in that book.
That's what I mean when I say numbers, because for example, for some of my students, I have some books.
Yes.
Some numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe, for example, this one.
Treasure Island, okay.
And it's a little short book. And they are graded. They're
graded. Sorry, I didn't understand your explanation. Okay. Excellent. So whenever you have the chance and you can read the classics in an easier way, because we all know the classics are hard. The sonnets of Shakespeare are hard. But in this case, when they're graded, they're easier. And it's an asset for you to use with your with your students too. Okay, good. Let's continue. Now we're going to do a listening activity, okay? Listening activity. So I hope you have the books there. Do you have the books? If not, here we have the activity. It says, my interpretation is, read and listen to the poem. The activity first is going to be, who is the poet talking about? Okay, so I'm going to play this audio and try to listen, because you have to answer that question. Who is the poet talking about? I have to stop sharing the screen for a while. Give me a sec.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, Laura.
Where can we find graded books?
Great books. You can find them at Gandhi bookstore or Gonville too. I'm familiar with those. I don't know if, Arely, where did you find yours?
Do you live in Mexico City? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Where is the Anglo? Where some people perform the first and all those certifications. There's the Anglo, and in the center of the town, and there's a bookstore. I don't have the name, but maybe I have the contact. I have the number, so I'm going to look it up, and I will send it, because they have different kind of books.
American Bookstore.
Yes, it's American Bookstore, the one that is.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I have
Like Close Madero, right? That you go.
No. It's in front of the Anglo. And San Rafael. The
Antonio Caso.
Antonio Caso, that's right. I will look for the address or the contact and I will send it to the group.
But there's also the American Bookstore.
Maybe you can buy them online, maybe.
You can get them in Amazon too. Amazon has good options.
Should search it as graded books.
Yes, or you can type any
English books.
You can type novels. If you are into novels, you can type novels, and then it will show you different results, and you can choose. And some of them are related to levels.
These are from Oxford. Oxford University Press. And that's the Oxford Bookworm Library.
Gandhi has a lot of them, or they usually offer to get them for you if you need them. You have to pay like in advance, but you can get them.
And they'll search it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Gloria, you really know your way in Mexico City, huh?
No, yes. I like my city a lot.
Yeah, but it's difficult to get to
it's
there.
difficult sometimes for us because it's a really big city. So sometimes it's really hard to I don't usually go out now due to the lockdown, but I really enjoy going to the downtown or to go to other places. So it's nice.
Areli and Alma, you're raising your hands. Do you have a question or anything you want? No?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to play the listening, all right?
Miss, could it work also the audiobooks? No.
Somehow audiobooks, yes, but my suggestion, well, it depends on you, what kind of learner you are. Some people enjoy.
I'm a visual learner.
Yes. And if you want to build up vocabulary, the book would be a little bit better because you see the word.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank you, Miss.
More of your senses. You're welcome. All right, so you're going to listen. The activity says, read and listen to the poem. Who is the poet talking about? Let me play the audio. Please let me know if you hear.
Page 17, Lesson D, Poetry. 3.
Can you hear?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Listening. My interpretation is A. Read and listen to the poem. Who is the poet talking about?
Prime by Amy Lowell. Your voice is like bells over roofs at dawn, when a bird flies and the sky changes to a fresher color. Speak, speak, beloved. Say little things for my ears to catch, and run with them to my heart.
Okay, I believe I can share my screen because it says read and listen. Okay, let me play this again for you. Do you see my screen? Yes, okay.
Exercise 1-1, rubber band practice with nonsense syllables.
That's different, sorry.
Page 17, Lesson D, Poetry. 3. Listening. My interpretation is A. Read and listen to the poem. Who is the poet talking about?
Prime by Amy Lowell. Your voice is like bells over roofs at dawn, when a bird flies and the sky changes to a fresher color. Speak, speak, beloved. Say little things for my ears to catch, and run with them to my heart.
Excellent. Okay. Now you were able to read and hear. So who can answer the main question? Who is the poem talking about?
Is it talk?
Hello? I stopped hearing you.
Is it talking about the sun?
Talking about the what, sorry?
It's talking about the sun.
The sun, okay. Any other opinion?
I would say it's talking about the wind. I don't know.
Talking about the wind?
It reminds me of the wind.
It reminded you of the wind. Why did it remind you of the wind? This is
I don't
interesting.
know. Due to the words, it's like your voice is like bells, and then at the end it says, "For my ear to catch and run with them to my heart." So usually the winds, it flows. So I don't know. That's what I thought when I was listening to it.
And then Eric, you said about the sun, right? Why did you get the idea the poem is talking about the sun?
Because he mentions over roofs at dawn.
Okay.
And also because the sky changes to a fresher color.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Any other opinion? Alma, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Eric too. I think it is about the sun for the same reason.
Very good. Did anyone think it's about a person? About a person?
At the beginning, I thought that it was for a girl, maybe. But when they start talking about the sun and the wind, it makes me more sense.
Okay, excellent. This is what it's rich and beautiful about poetry, that it's open to interpretations. And maybe you can have your own interpretation, but somebody else has an opinion and you go like, yeah, that's right too. So let's do activity B. Listen to one person's interpretation of the poem. How does the person answer this question? Okay, check. You have to check how the person answers to these 4 questions. What do you think of the poem? What image does it bring to mind? How do you think the poet feels? And how does it make you feel? Not you, but the person answering, okay? So this is an activity called listening for gist or listening for specific information, okay? So I'm going to play it while you observe the screen, okay? All right.
Page 17. 3. Listening. My interpretation is B. Listen to one person's interpretation of the poem. How does the person answer these questions?
I guess I must have read thousands of poems, and the ones I like best are short ones where the poet uses just a few words and it suggests a whole situation or a feeling and a mood, just like this one does. You can see the whole picture before you. Yeah, it's a lovely poem. I have to say, I really like Amy Lowell's poetry, and this one is one of my favorites. I do think it's so beautiful and, well, moving. I really do. She's obviously talking about a person she loves very much. And what I love is just the way she describes that person's voice, like bells ringing in the early morning. You can picture it. One of those beautiful early mornings when the sky is silvery gray with maybe a hint of red and orange, the sun just rising, and the rooftops and bells ringing. And she talks about the sky changing to a lighter color, the darkness going away, and a bird flying across the sky. I'm sure the poet is feeling like that feeling of waking up and starting a wonderful new day. That's how she feels when she hears the person's voice. It's like when you're in love with someone and you just want that person to call to hear their voice. I know I do anyway. So, yeah, she's telling the person she loves, her beloved, to speak, say a few words so that she can hear them, as she puts it, Her ears can catch the words and send them to her heart. I mean, how great to be able to write like that. I'd never be able to. But yeah, the poem makes me feel so calm and so encouraged.
Section 1. You will hear a man telephoning a sports club to ask about membership.
Okay, excellent. Is this enough, or do you want me to repeat the audio?
Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. Okay. One more time. Here it goes.
Page 17. 3. Listening. My interpretation is B. Listen to one person's interpretation of the poem. How does the person answer these questions?
I guess I must have read thousands of poems, and the ones I like best are short ones where the poet uses just a few words and it suggests a whole situation or a feeling and a mood, just like this one does. You can see the whole picture before you. Yeah, it's a lovely poem. I have to say, I really like Amy Lowell's poetry, and this one is one of my favorites. I do think it's so beautiful and, well, moving. I really do. She's obviously talking about a person she loves very much. And what I love is just the way she describes that person's voice, like bells ringing in the early morning. You can picture it. One of those beautiful early mornings when the sky is silvery gray with maybe a hint of red and orange, the sun just rising, and the rooftops and bells ringing. And she talks about the sky changing to a lighter color, the darkness going away, and a bird flying across the sky. I'm sure the poet is feeling like that feeling of waking up and starting a wonderful new day. That's how she feels when she hears the person's voice. It's like when you're in love with someone and you just want that person to call to hear their voice. I know I do anyway. So, yeah, she's telling the person she loves, her beloved, to speak, say a few words so that she can hear them. As she puts it, her ears can catch the words and send them to her heart. I mean, how great to be able to write like that. I'd never be able to. But yeah, the poem makes me feel so calm and so encouraged.
Section 2. You will hear a local radio broadcast about the river.
All right, so now let's analyze and discuss this question based on what you heard. The person responses, what do you think of the poem? Who can answer to that question? What does the person think of the poem?
She thinks. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. She thinks that it is for her beloved person because she imagined like the bell ringing. I don't know how can I say?
Bells ringing.
Ringing in an early morning with the orange and red colors in the morning when the sun is rising.
Okay. All right. Any other opinion you were going to share, Betty, I think?
Yes, miss. Well, the same as her. And she was describing all the movements, all about the person she loved. And she was expressing that she's talking about a person she loves, that the beautiful movings and the voice, the sun, everything like that. So I guess the same.
Okay, you guys are answering a little bit more. Question number 2, the image that brings to mind. But when she describes the poem, she says 2 adjectives. Alma, you're nodding.
Yeah, well, actually, she mentioned 3. I listened 3. Okay. At the beginning, she mentioned lovely, then she mentioned beautiful and moving.
Exactly. Thank you, Alma. That's the opinion. She thinks it's lovely, beautiful, and moving. Very good. Then the image it brings to mind is what you guys were describing. beautiful early morning and the birds, because she describes that so well.
Lovely, and what other did you?
Sorry,
write?
Adam?
Lovely, and which other words do you use?
Lovely, beautiful, and moving.
Thank
you. So number 2, all of the images she says. Beautiful early morning and the bird flying on the early skies, all of that. Number 3, how do you think the poet feels?
In love.
In love.
Right, in love.
Yeah, the poet feels in love, definitely. Number 4, how does it make you feel?
Calm
and
Romantic.
encouraged.
Calm and encouraged. Excellent. Very good. Now we're going to do a different kind of activity, okay? Because remember, on Saturdays we're also practicing speaking, not just one skill. We have been practicing grammar, reading comprehension. Now we're going to practice speaking a little bit. So we're going to do pair work as the book says in different breakout rooms. Let me count you guys. 1, 2, 3, 11. So I'm going to put you in groups of 2 and 1 group of 3, okay? So in pair group, you're going to discuss the questions in exercise B, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 minutes and I'm going to use my stopwatch to do this activity, okay? 5 minutes, all right? So let me just divide you or split you up in breakout rooms, just a sec. And then to do rooms assign manually. Okay, so breakout room number 1, Armando and Gloria. Armando and Gloria. Breakout room number 2, Eric and Areli. Breakout room number 3, Alma and Jasmine. Breakout room number 4, Constanza and Mildred. And number 5, Laura and Bere, okay? Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. We're just waiting for the other ones, or everybody's here now. Okay, perfect. So did you guys finish the discussion questions in this 5 to 6 minutes? Yes? Excellent. Okay. It's better like this when you have your cameras on because I see you and I can, get a better idea. Please don't be like your students. Do not turn the cameras off. Come on. You're always asking them, it's hard. So don't play it hard on me, please. Okay. So did you agree with the writer? Did you agree with the person's opinion? Mostly yes, mostly not?
Yes.
Yes.
I was joining your breakout rooms just for a while to see if you were actually doing that and if you were discussing, and gladly I saw that. Excellent. Very good. Let's continue. Okay, now in this lesson of the book, you have to do one writing activity, which is write a book review, but not just yet. First, we need to check some grammar, and we're going to work with some activities, okay? And before you write a review, you need to get to see how a review looks like, okay? You probably know this, but anyways, we're going to look at the model, okay? So activity A says, look at a model. Look at the review of a novel. What does the writer think of the novel? And you have to, in your books, underline the activities that are linked together. What is an activity linked together with another one? For example, here, in the first example, we have short yet powerful. What word is linking the two adjectives? What word?
Yet.
Yet. Exactly. So you have adjective short, adjective powerful, and yet is putting them together. We're going to be learning about linked adjectives. And this first activity is for you to identify those, okay? So, sorry. You have to read and underline all of the adjectives you observe that are linked together, okay? So please read it and raise your Zoom hand when you're done. Ready?
No, teacher.
Okay. Please tell me when you're done, okay? Okay, Alma, Constanza, Arely, Eric, Armando, are you guys done? Because you guys are raising hands. Yes. Gloria too. Okay. Most of you guys. So let's check.
Yes, ready.
Perfect. Let's check this together. Let me just move this a little bit. Okay, so here in the description, we use a lot, or they use a lot of linked adjectives. Please, Arely, mention one. Let's go in order, okay?
Okay, we don't need to read it all the text. Okay. Large but gentle.
Large but gentle. Okay, very good. Large but gentle. Gloria.
I and George, he's tough yet compassion.
Tough yet compassionate. Very good, Gloria. Bere?
Miss, I have a doubt in here. It couldn't be compassionate and caring?
Also, compassionate and caring. Yeah, they're using 3 there. Correct.
Okay. And well, I just wrote difficult, if not impossible.
Difficult, if not impossible. So see, even negative ones. Correct. Eric? Oh, Eric, I don't hear you. Maybe we're having audio issues.
Hopes and dreams.
That one, not exactly. It is a noun that is linked. But remember, we're looking at adjectives because hopes is a noun and dreams is another noun. It's nouns that are linked. However, in this activity in particular, we're looking for adjectives. Do you have any other one, Eric?
Wait. It's stronger than that.
Stronger than, sorry, I'm having a lot of issues with your audio. I only heard stronger than desperate.
It's stronger than the best.
Okay, that one in particular is not really linked. It's being, or it's having a different function. It has a different function, which is comparing stronger than the desperate reality, but it's not really linked. There are, anyways, we have still more. Laura, can you mention one that you found?
I have found sad, but perhaps hopeful.
Sad,
But I'm
but
not sure.
yes, it's linked. Jasmine?
I got friendship and trust.
Again, those are linked nouns. Yes,
Okay.
they are linked, but they are nouns, okay? Do you guys in general found any other
Yes,
linked?
I found, I don't know if they have already said it, but dramatic, but not entirely unexpected.
Yes.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
one is a little bit long, but it's correct. Dramatic, though not entirely unexpected, okay?
If at times depressing.
If at times depressing, but you're not linking another one. If at times
Is
Could it be
compelling. If
dark,
at times depressing.
dark and menacing?
dark and menacing. That one, yes. Dark and menacing. Very good. Do you guys know what is menacing? Menacing means amenazador. That's menacing. Okay, excellent. Now, question before we go into the break. A question. Why do you think sometimes authors or sometimes writers use linked adjectives? Why?
To describe it more,
To
To make
describe,
them stronger?
To be more specific.
to be more specific, okay?
To emphasize.
Something more to emphasize. To emphasize, sometimes to contrast too. For example, tough yet compassionate. So it's like killing two birds with one stone, right? You're saying the character is tough, but at the same time, I mean, you can imagine the character very tough guy, but at the same time with strong feelings because he's compassionate. So this is what happens in books different from movies. This is one of the reasons why the book is always bigger and richer than the movie. Because in the movie, the directors, they just have limited time. But in the book, no, they can describe a lot. I remember once I saw a movie with a friend, Great Expectations. It's based on a book, which is also called Great Expectations. Are you familiar with that book? No, it's an awesome book. You can Google it. It's amazing. I recommend that one to you. And the movie is also amazing. It has the same name, Great Expectations. So we saw the movie together, my friend and I. And then I said, the book is, because she loved the movie. And I said, the book is even better. So she went ahead and she bought the book. And I remember one day she was all angry. And she's like, you know what? I'm bored. And I'm like, why? And she says, I'm on page almost on 100, 120 or something. And they are still at the beach scene, which is the first scene of the movie. Yes, because in the books, they describe a lot. Why? Because you don't have the visuals. It's not a children book, you don't have the visuals. So the authors use these linked adjectives because they want to describe so the characters or the scenery so well that the reader visualizes something, okay? So we're going to start studying linked adjectives when we come after the break, okay, guys? So please, let's stop here for 30 minutes and then I'll see you at 11:30, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys.